In this session, we can create and deploy the Spring RESTful web service in Tomcat server which can respond back with Hello World. Let's start with Spring Boot application annotation. Spring Boot application is equivalent to using annotations like configuration, enable auto configuration, and component scan. This class is used to bootstrap and launch a Spring application from a Java main method. This class automatically creates the application context from the class path, scan the configuration classes and launch the application. Now let's focus on the REST controller. This is how the controller looks like. We can go through each line in this code to understand the purpose of each annotations. Controller classes / components are easily identified by the @REST controller annotation. The @request mapping annotation maps all HTTP operations by default and, in this example, it ensures that HTTP requests to /example/REST data are mapped to the REST API example controller. We can add another request mapping to map the request to method. In this example, requests with path /example/REST data/get data are mapped to the method get REST data in REST API example controller. Also, we have configured this method as get method. The get REST data API is returning a string in response. Let's say it is returning Hello World. Now the REST API is ready to deploy. We need to build the project first. To build the project, right-click on the project and select Run as Maven install. After successful install of Maven install, run the main class demo application to deploy the web service in Tomcat server. Tomcat is the inbuilt server in Spring Boot. Default server running on the default port, 8080. We can cover more about the server in next session. Let's go ahead and send request to the web service. We can either test in browser or Postman. Let me show you in Postman. Make sure you have Postman installed already. In Postman, select the request type as GET. Enter the URL. The URL need to start with host name. We are running in localhost and the default port is 8080. Then append the mapping we used in the controller. Now send the request. You can see the status code as 200, which means the response is good. You can see the response as Hello World in the body. We can cover more about the request and response in other session. So are you happy? We have deployed our first Hello World web service using Spring Boot successfully. In upcoming session, we can see how to deploy to create a post web service, how to access database and many more interesting concepts.